Season 4, episode 4 of From starts off with the yellow suit. Everyone's standing in the room. It's I think it's Donna, Henry, Boyd, Kenny, Tabitha, and Jade are in the sheriff's office, and they're discussing the yellow suit. And oh, Ellis is in there too. And Ellis says, the suit, what if it was, if the suit's there, where's the person wearing it? And Boyd's like, probably long gone. And they're all trying to discuss it. And Jade makes a comment. He's like, well, Victor definitely recognized it. Or someone said Victor recognized it. And Jade said, well, he more than recognized it. I mean, I saw a grown man pee his pants like he was terrified. So they're all trying to figure out what's going on there. Henry is trying to wrap his mind around this. He was like, up until recently, I thought, like the boy in the white clothes or whatever was just something in that yellow suit. The guy in the yellow suit was just paintings in his basement, and he's really freaking out about this because he said up until now he was trying to pretend this isn't real or whatever, and then he leaves. Sarah goes in to see Crazy Sophia, and she asks her why she wanted to live there, and she tells her because she thought she was kind. So Sarah says she's gonna go make them breakfast, and when she leaves, Sophia's doing this little meditation or whatever she's doing. And the next scene, they show Sarah just screaming and cringing because there's voices in her head. I feel like she's really gonna do a number on Sarah. Meanwhile, Jade was taking his mushrooms, and it's funny because Boyd was like, "Are you okay doing this?" He was like, "No," but then he shoved the mushrooms in his mouth. But I mean, I for one am looking forward to Jade going on this trip with these mushrooms because he's so entertaining. Anyway, I think he's probably my favorite character. Now, my least favorite character. No, I'm just kidding. But anyway, Ethan is trying to contact his dad on the radio. And Tabitha heard him. She was at the door, and she came in, and he was telling her that he saw his dad, and his dad said to take they need to go to the Lake of Tears, and she's listening to him. The other thing, do we think Tabitha's highlights have anything to do with anything? Because all of a sudden she has highlights, and I don't understand why. And you can tell that they're like clip-ins or something. So is it supposed to be because she's traveling? I mean, it could be nothing, but it's just they just came out of nowhere. I feel like, how like in some movies when people go through things, or even time travel movies, and then the person comes back and their hair is like gray in spots or something. I don't know. I just feel like the highlights have to mean something. So Randall and Julie are in the bus reading Ethan's books, and then Tabitha comes in, and so they hide the books, and Tabitha gives she gives Randall a funny look, like, what's going on. And she does tell Julie that she's going to take Ethan to go to the Lake of Tears, because she knows if she doesn't take him, he's going to sneak off and do it anyway. And you're absolutely right, Tabitha, and that was a really good decision. I was like, finally, she's not running off leaving the kids. She's paying attention to the kids. And so Julie was like, she didn't want to go, and she said she'll be there with Tabitha said, I don't want you there by yourself. She said, I'll be there with Randall. And Tabitha wasn't really feeling that. So she told Randall, she said, can I talk to you for a second? So they get off the bus. It was funny because when she said she'd be there with Randall, Tabitha gave them a look, and she's like, Mom, it's not like that. And Randall's like, it really isn't. Like, he is not interested in her. But anyway, that was funny. So he says, Julie doesn't want Tabitha to talk to Randall, but he was like, it's fine. Julie tells Randall, or I keep calling her Julie. Tabitha tells Randall, I don't know what you want, who you are, and what you want, but basically, Julie feels safe with you, and don't give her a reason not to feel safe, or she threatened her basically. So back to Tabitha and her dirt. Elton tells her that he'd stay and help her, and she said no, she has to do this part by herself. And then Kenny comes in. I mean, everybody was coming in that room. I know they were getting on her nerves. Kenny comes in and sees what she's doing, and he he's looking around like, what the heck? I got a question or a statement. This room she's in, it's not the room that she shares with Ellis. So that's one big extra room. So why are there people like sleeping on the couches and stuff? And also, when Julie was came to live at that house, at Colony House, they made a room for her in their room. I'm just wondering why this big old empty room is all of a sudden available for her to make play in dirt or whatever she's doing. Ellis is looking through like a memory box, and it has his wife's wedding ring in it. This was funny because Kenny went to go tell Boyd about, he went to go tell on Tabitha, or not Tabitha, he went to go tell on Fatima, basically. But when he walked in, Jade was sitting there, because remember he took the mushrooms, and Kenny came in and he was like, Boyd, is Kenny in the room with us? And I was like, oh, if the rest of the show is going to be him saying random stuff like that, it's going to be great. Elgin walks in the church and Sarah's there, and he awkward, but anyway, she starts talking to him about the voices, and about, she asked him if he still sees the lady in the kimono, and he said no, and she said, oh well, she figured maybe it was because, she asked him, do you think it's because you did what she wanted, she left you alone? He's like, I don't know. But she said to him she thought her voices would stop, but they didn't. Maybe because she didn't do all the things that they wanted her to do. But he asked her what the voices said, and she said they said for her to go to the diner and drink a glass of water from the pitcher, pour a glass of water, drink it, and then pour it back in the pitcher. And he was like, okay, it's just water, it's not going to hurt anybody. She said, but if I drink from it, maybe whatever is the voices are in me will get in someone else. And he said, he was just saying, I think he kind of encouraged her. I mean, it's just water. You should do it if whatever. Also, I think it's time for Elgin to change his bandage on his eye. Victor was talking with his dad, and his dad was kind of trying to bond with him. Victor was being weird, doing the thing like counting the trees or counting the steps of the trees to see if they moved. And the dad was trying to get involved because he had spoken to Jade earlier, and Jade was basically telling him Victor is who he is, and you just need to get to know him that way. And Jade gives really good advice too, by the way. So anyway, Victor was talking to his dad, and he was like, did the man in the yellow suit, did he hurt you? And Victor was like, come with me, I'll tell you. Back to the dirt. Here comes Boyd in there to see what's going on with Fatima, and he's very concerned. And he asked her what she's making, and she said a monster, and he was like, okay. At first, I thought she was making this thing in those books. Julie's trying to explain to Randall why she needs to do this or story walk, and why the books that they're reading that are Ethan's, why they're connected. And because he's not, Randall's not really buying it, but he's kind of buying it. But she was saying, maybe it's the reason. He said, why these books? And she said, because they're the books my brother had when we came here. I mean, I don't know why he's kind of fighting her on this. It's making sense. So Boyd goes and tells Kenny that Fatima told him she's making a monster. So Tabitha and Ethan went with Donna in the group to go get forage for the food that's out there, and Donna's sitting here talking to Tabitha because she can see that she needs someone to talk to, and she's basically telling her, your family, and I don't want to see another note, you leaving. And if anybody's going to do anything crazy, let it be me, which leads me to believe that maybe Donna's going to be the next one to go from the way she was talking. But she did tell her their family, and she comforted her. Ethan and Ellis find a bird, and it's looks like it's dying. And Ethan makes it up, points out that they've only seen crows there, so they probably need to take this bird to the Lake of Tears. It's a sign. And so Tabitha's listening to him and she's going along with it, but she doesn't think there's much to the things he's